There we go. Good to go.
Ballin'.
All right, 7:35, Molly. All right, Molly's running the show, so I am going to be quiet for once in a while.
Yeah.
So,
Hi,
Molly,
guys.
I am going to mute everybody and take it away.
Perfect. All right. Well, right now I'll go through, I made a PowerPoint so I could walk you through the apps that I use and the different types of programs that I've been using for my pictures. I can answer questions when we're all done, and I'll just go through the whole thing first.
Hey, Mal, real quick, sorry to interrupt. Because you're hosting now, I can't mute people. So if you guys can just mute yourselves so we don't have any background noise and stuff, that would be great. All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you for doing that, because my cursor disappears when it does this. Okay, so here we go. Making sense of photo apps. Woo! You're not muted, Eric. You're laughing. Okay, let's start with the basics, taking your photos. So your angles, your lighting, selfies, whether you're taking it with a timer. Sometimes I even have other people who take my picture for me. In these pictures, these are some very nice selfies I found. You don't want to look like these. So the lighting on the girl all the way to the right, or you don't want to see people's boogers because that's disgusting. And the one in the mirror is just awkward. And unless you're telling a funny story, don't do that. So obviously these are do not do's. But once you've taken your perfect picture, so making sure, your angles are right. I always take my picture from above most of the time to get a better angle, or have someone else take it. Putting it on a timer helps too. And I usually take like 2 to 3, to be honest. I don't always use my first photo. And then once I find my perfect photo, I love to filter. So I know a lot of you were wondering the apps that I used for that. Snapchat is something that I will take my photo on and I will filter it right away. And then I will actually move it into Camera Plus, and then I will enhance it. Photofy, I will also bring it in there to make it black and white if I'm going to use their words, and same with the Rana. So you might want to write down those if you're taking notes on them. So here are some examples that I have. So the first 2 pictures of me, like with the rainbow, the first picture, oh my God, if I lose you, I apologize. The first picture of me by the rainbow is just simply what my camera did. And I had someone else obviously taking the picture. The one to the right of it, I filtered in Camera Plus and just enhanced it and cropped it. So I would have used that photo as one of mine to post on Facebook. My upper right-hand corner one, the first one is obviously the photo that I took. So my angle was from above. I took the picture outside, so I had natural lighting. And then to the right of it, I used a filter off of Snapchat and saved it. So you can see 2 different examples of that. My lower photo that says Dare to Dream Big, I took from an above angle, obviously outside, and filtered that right away as well. You can always be really creative with your filters. So the one that says Victory for You, Fitness, I used in Photofy. So I took the photo, brought it into Photofy, found a sweet filter to go with our awesome picture. And then in there was also different words and stuff that you can use. So I threw those onto it to make it better. Sometimes I know people have problems with their layouts. So these are the different types of layout programs that I use. The first one, which is called Layout, is perfect if you are a big Instagrammer. Even if you're not using Instagram, I think you can click up to 6 or 8 photos, and it actually mashes them all together for you. And then you're able to go into those and make them bigger or smaller as you please. Mm-hmm. And these photos that you make in Layout will upload right to Instagram perfectly, because sometimes if you make it in Pick Stitch, it'll be too big, and so it won't fit in your Instagram. sometimes when layout doesn't work is when you have like 3 pictures that you want to use and then your pictures get all wonky. So if you go into pick stitch, you are able to pick the amount of pictures in the layout that you want and add your photos in there. And you can see that on the next slide that I'll show you. And in the Rana collage, I have a example of that as well. And I'll show you that on the next one. The cover photo app is awesome. I actually learned that one from Eric. And I have an example that I'll show you, but it's really good to make really awesome cover photos that you can add multiple pictures in and words in. Now we'll show you that. So these are a couple examples of using the different apps. My top photo I made in layout, and then I actually brought it into another program to add the border. But I just added those in, and it just made it right for me. However, with the bottom one, with the pictures of Eric and I in it, I needed to add the words and stuff. And so when I pulled it into layout, it didn't work. So I went into Pick Stitch, grabbed the amount of photos I had, and then just pulled them in there. My top right picture is a collage that I had made for one of my diamond trainings of my wish board and the things and where I want to be. And so that was just a way that you could use the collage or group pictures together. The top photo is my cover photo. So I added 4 different photos and it showed my journey. It was a really great picture to post on my Facebook. It actually got a lot of likes on it because it really gave attention to me and the journey that I'm still on and where I started. That was one of my favorite posts. And then the bottom 2, you can see the one on the left was made in Pick Stitch and the one on the right was made in layout. So they look similar, but it just depends on how you want your words and photos to fit. Does anyone have any questions so far?
How is layout for Facebook, or would you recommend it for Facebook?
Yeah, I mean, you can still upload. So like my picture that's on the screen right now, that's the bottom right. Mm-hmm. I uploaded that picture still to Facebook.
Okay.
And I also uploaded it to Instagram. But even the picture on the left, I could still upload to Instagram. But sometimes I like the way that layout does it. So I just kind of go in and I play with it. Like, okay, well, layout didn't work, so then I'm going to go into Pick Stitch.
Okay.
And layout is actually a free download. And Pick Stitch, I believe, is a free download. But if you want, like, more, you can always pay a little bit more for them.
Right. Okay.
Hey, Molly, that cover photo one, just to make sure people understand that one. So can you talk a little bit about when you say, like the app's called Cover Photo, you and I know why that app is good. Can you explain to these guys a little bit, like what, like to make sure they understand that's for the banner of their Facebook page?
Yeah. So you have your profile picture Facebook, and then there's the above photo now where you can make your cover photo. And so this app is made especially for your cover photos so that it's going to fit in perfectly. So before my pictures, would be mashed and wouldn't really work. And then this app, you can pick, obviously I have 4 pictures, but you can pick 1 picture, 2 pictures. I think you can pick up to 6 and then fit them all in there. And then all I did was bring it into another app, which I'll show you as we continue, to add in all of my words onto the app.
Yeah, because I've seen, and I think a lot of people, especially people who aren't in business on Facebook, you'll see them make their cover photo, like they'll just take a regular square picture or whatever and put it as their cover photo. And sometimes on the phone app, it looks fine. But if somebody goes to your page, you being a coach, and they want to find something out, what's Molly all about, this cover photo app is great because it's a banner. And most things that don't take pictures, and most of these apps, they're making it square, they're making it rectangle. This one makes it that weird, long rectangle shape. And that's why it's such a good app for you guys when you're making those banners. Because I see a lot of people make that mistake of putting normal pictures up there and it doesn't work. You know, go ahead.
Right. Well, and I was going to say it's a really big attention grabber. Like when I changed it, I kind of just changed it to be like, oh, this was fun. And all of a sudden people were like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. You know, just showing your journey and showing your passion about anything in life. You know, you could have some Beachbody things and you could put your kids up there too and just show people what you're all about. Make it your own, which helps. Any more questions right now? No? Okay. So I know that some of you like to use videos and pictures all at the same time. So these are the video apps that I and Eric use. So the Pick Play Post I use, Pick Frame Eric uses, and Vaunt is actually one that I found while on Pinterest that you can actually add your text to. So I'm going to go to the next one so I can explain it a little bit more. Okay, so in these, so if we go to the bottom one that says Flex Friday, on the left-hand side is a picture of me, and on the right-hand side is a video. And before I flip the slide, I'll show you what they do. And so the same with my top one, my bottom was a video. So I could post these and show people either my favorite move or the hardest move in the workout or how I've gotten better at the moves. And it's really cool, actually. So I'll show you these. It's going to talk and be loud, so I apologize. And they give you, okay, so they give you about 10 seconds to grab a clip, and it'll show the whole clip. So maybe you filmed 30 seconds, maybe you filmed a minute, and you're able to go into it and cut it to exactly the one you want. So maybe you did like 6 really good push-ups and like 4 bad ones. You could cut the 4 out and no one would ever have to see it. And it's just a really good way to get people to see even the programs that you're doing, just a little like sneak peek, and grab people's attention that way. Now my favorite is word swag. I love adding words and quotes and all those fun things to my pictures. My new favorite is actually the app that's first that I have listed, which is called Word Swag. I think I paid around $2.99 for it, but it was worth it. So what that one does is you can add in your own quotes. It has quotes already pre-made and gives you a ton of different options on how to post those into your pictures. Photofy is a big one that I use for my Fit Club, and it's the one I've been using the entire time. I like Photofy's filters. I enjoy, it's very easy to use and to get around, and you have lots of options. You can pull in like stickers of, you know, like weightlifters, or they have pre-made quotes as well. And then the Rhonda design does the same thing, but you can only do one photo in that app. So the photo on the left is done in Word Swag. So I just found this quote online. I went to the Word Swag, typed it in, and then found the font that I liked the best and posted it on there. The one that says we're going streaking, I made in Photofy. And the Wisconsin actually photo of that was in Photofy already. So they have like circles and squares and states. And then you can add the words on top of it. And the filter for that, I filtered in Camera Plus, brought it into Photofy, filtered it one more time, and then added my words. My bottom Fit Club photo, I filtered in Photofy, added the words in Photofy, but I didn't do it in Camera Plus. I think that's all I have right now.
Hey, Mal.
Yeah.
When you talk to kind of, because I think some of these guys, a lot of this is probably pretty new, and you and I will use terms and things
Right.
that we just kind of assume is, yeah, everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
When you talk about filter,
Yes.
can you, and I know it's, you can't really like hold your phone up and go, this is this. Talk a little bit about like different filters and what filter, when you talk about I filtered this here and I filtered it there, like what you're doing and like what it's doing.
What it does.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me look better. Come on now. I'm just kidding. So when I'm filtering a photo, you know, you're going to go into, let's say you're going to go into Photofy, and it's going to ask if you want to crop your photo, if you want to add a filter. And so when I'm filtering the photo, it's going to give you multiple options. You could make it black and white, you can make it retro, and all of these things. You're going for what is really going to stop people. Like, why are people going to stop and look at your picture and see what you have to say? So every post that I make and every photo that I'm trying to create, I'm doing that. So someone's going to be scrolling through their news feed just like everyone else does, like beepity. But why are they going to stop and look at my photo and be like, oh, well, that's a good photo, or that photo is pretty funny, like the we're going streaking one. So picking the filter that's best going to suit the photo that you're trying to show everyone. So for instance, the we're going streaking photo that you can see right on the screen, I wanted something like bright and vibrant and that was going to stand out. So I picked something that was more bright. So just scrolled through and was like, all right, I like this one, so I'm picking that. Whereas my coaching photo, I wanted it to be more about the quote. So I went with something black and white, a little something to pop out, kind of like that.
Yeah. So like the black and, because I see a lot of times with people posting pictures, and that's why like I've gotten a ton of great ideas from you with your pictures, is because just like you said, that black and white photo, then you took the coloring of the words and it made them pop, you know, and a lot of times people have pictures and they'll just make this really boring text. And, you know, like, let's say if you made we're going streaking green, no one would have been able to see it.
Yeah.
So you made it red, and then the picture, like that picture, did you use Clarify on Camera Plus? So
yeah, I used Clarify and Camera Plus, and then brought it into Photofy and filtered it again to make it even more vavoom, you could say.
Yeah, because filters, you know, are what, back before all this technology, a filter is what a professional camera person used to have to do with a lens and lighting and all that, you know, all that kind of thing that a professional cameraman had. Now we have access to, if you take a picture that's too dark, you can go find a filter that'll brighten it a little bit so people can see it. And that Camera Plus app, to me, is like, has all the best filters. I don't think there's a filter out there that is, you know, it has quite a bit of stuff. The other thing too, Molly, cropping.
Yeah.
Explain the reasons for different cropping. 'Cause I don't, especially like when it comes to Instagram. When I first got on Instagram, I didn't know that everything needs to be a square. And talk a little bit about why you crop things a certain way. And
okay, well, so if we go back to this picture right here, you can tell I obviously want to filter it because this is boring and blah, and you can make it brighter and you can make the colors pop. And so people are going to be like, oh, you know, maybe we're going to be like, oh, that's a pretty rainbow behind her. And then I'm going to crop it because no one wants to see the garbage. Can you see my cursor moving?
Yeah. Yep.
No one wants to see the little kids' drawings right here. Like, that's not what the post is going to be about. The post is probably going to be about the homemade shamrock shake that I made in my hand. So you want to zone in on that. Or even at the top, I filtered it, but I cropped it down so that it's about what's in my hand. It's not about what's in the background.
So is that one on the top, is the left unfiltered or is the left filtered too? The one on the top right?
No, the one on the top right. This one?
Yeah.
That's filtered.
Is the one next to it unfiltered?
Unfiltered.
Yeah. So if you guys, when you look at that, the one on the left looks like super washed out, and you know, it's just, it's white and it's vanilla, and it's, you know, and if you look on the right, you know, it adds, especially to all of us people up north in the winter, it adds some nice color to our skin.
Right.
It makes the green pop out. It might, I think sometimes to people it might seem a little tedious, but it it makes a big difference. It's a difference between somebody stopping at your picture and somebody just going blah, 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 blah.
Right. And like I said before, I filter probably 2 times, if not 3.
So what do you mean by that? Different filters or?
I'll filter. So this photo down here, my Dare to Dream Big photo,
Yep.
I filtered. So I took the photo and Snapchat, so it looked like this right here. Then I filtered it to look like this first one.
What did you, why don't you walk us through that, walk us through this bottom left picture of how exactly what you did, kind of a.
I know I was so sad because I didn't save a regular picture.
That's okay, just to.
So I took the picture up at a good angle because no one wants to see your boogers, and most people don't want to show double chins and all that fun stuff. So if you're taking a photo straight on, you're not normally getting a good angle of yourself. I'm just being honest. So I took the photo, and then in Snapchat, you can actually just scroll your photo and it filters it right away. So that's always nice. So it made it look like this top photo first.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like this. I made it go like this. And then I pulled this picture into Camera Plus and clarified it. So clarify is just making your photo brighter. It's not, I guess, technically a filter, but it just enhances. It pulls everything to the foreground. And then after I got my picture perfect, because I love my filters, I brought it into WordSwag, and I found the quote, "Dare to dream big," because we've had a call about dreaming big. And I actually, when I posted it on my wall, I took a different quote to stop people about wanting to dream big. And then people really wanted to stop at that picture, like, oh, that's a good quote, and that's a really good picture, and stop people there.
And those quotes, the one thing that I didn't realize when you started doing it, I was like, boy, she's really coming up with some clever stuff. That, and not all the time, but those quotes on those pictures, did you make those up?
Oh, heck no.
So they're
Pinterest and Google.
that Dare to Dream Big is like a sticker in which app?
It's in the, I use that one in the WordSwag.
So WordSwag. Well, WordSwag does WordSwag have the stickers too? So it said Dare to Dream Big, and you just.
I put the Dare to Dream Big. I found the quote somewhere else. But in WordSwag, you can click on the left-hand side, and there's 4 different ones. It says, like, inspirational, and I can't remember what the other 3 are. And you can click on them, and it will make little quotes for you and then pull them in.
Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to make sure people knew is that, and I didn't when you first did that, is that the quotes and stuff are, for the most part, already done in WordSwag and already done in Photofy. So like Train Insane or Remain the Same.
That's in Photofy.
You just went and found that and went and put it right on there, and that's what it said. And then you can control the color, the shadow, all that.
Yeah, that's one thing that the shadow. Good job, Eric. In Photofy, that is one of my favorite things that none of the other Word ones have is a shadow. So in my Victory for You Fit Club one, the reason why it pops out more, the words do, is because there's a shadow behind it. And in WordSwag or the Rhonda, they don't have that. Let's see if I have. So the We're Going Streaking and the Victory for You in Richmond, in these two, there's a shadow behind that, which is actually helping the color come through even more than it would if it wasn't there. It wouldn't pop as much. And you're able to control the color shadow. So let's say if it was We're Going Streaking in black, you could make the shadow white, so the black would pop forward. I don't think I have any more of those ones on here. But that's really good. Yeah, shadows in Photofy is amazing.
And Molly, how long do you think it takes you to make a typical picture?
If I'm trying to make a good,
let's say you're looking at right now the Coach one that's black and white with the saying on it. How long do you think that takes?
Okay. Well, I took like 5 pictures of myself before I found the perfect one. And then I decided, I would say on average it probably takes me 10 minutes at least if I'm trying to be very perfect and really want something that's going to stop people and be like, well, what's Molly talking about today? Whereas my Fit Club photos, I go a little bit faster because they kind of say the same thing. So those take me about 5 minutes when I find the exact filter I want to use, the color that's going to pop the most in the background of them.
Well, it's just, so it's kind of, you know, it's really comes down to, it's just like any other Facebook post. Some Facebook posts you make, you have an idea and you're like, I'm going to spend 20 minutes on this thing because this is really good and I want it to be perfect. And other Facebook posts, you're talking about the weather. And it's 30 seconds.
Right.
Some pictures are the same thing. You know, all pictures I spend time and time and time and time on. And I'm like, I want this to be perfect. And I do it and I'm a guy.
Right. Well, let's say it's like the end of the month and you're actually trying to, like, you know, sell some challenge packs, or you want people to, you know, you need to get some interaction, or you're trying to find leads like we're talking about. You need to make something that's show stopping, that people are going to scroll. They're not going to scroll past your photo. So you're going to take a little bit more time to be like, I need to take the perfect photo. I need to find the perfect filter. I need to put in the perfect words. So people are going to stop and ask me questions, send me inbox messages about, oh, well, what is it you're doing? So those are the kinds of things that go through my head. Like, we're going streaking. I wanted people to join me for the streaking challenge. Like, what's going to make people stop and be like, oh, what crazy thing is Molly doing now that she looks like she's running around naked with Wisconsin over her? You know?
I think that one got you a little bit of attention.
Just a little.
Well, and Molly, you know, with your pictures, and too, I think the other thing that people want to consider is the professionalism that comes with, you know, if you're, you know, having a picture that's not great, posted every once in a while blurry, or, you know, it looks a little sloppy, isn't the end of the world. But consistently posting pictures that are sloppy and just messy, and video that's sloppy and messy, you know, you don't have to be perfect, but you got to remember there's professionalism to this. You're not posting on Facebook just to show everybody a picture of your cat. You're posting on Facebook because it's a huge, giant part of your business.
Right.
So that this girl that you're showing on the right with the light behind it, I've seen lots of people post pictures like that where they're, you know, and you want that picture to get attention, you're giving a muscle.
Yeah.
And if it looks like that and you go to post it and you see that, you need to be able to look at that and go, I need to delete this and go start over, or not post it, because the more you do that, the more your business is going to come across as unprofessional.
Right.
And they don't have to be perfect, but you got to have that professionalism, I feel like, in what you do, you know, with, it's just going to help. I think it really makes a difference, because I've noticed it, you know, I would message you all the time. Okay, what app is that? That's so cool. And I've downloaded like 6 new picture apps because of what you've taught me, except for Snapchat. I just won't do it. But
right. But even so, the girl on the left or the girl on the right, you know, you can kind of see that in my picture right here, where if she just would have pulled in a filter. So if you're just trying to even change that, otherwise just go take another picture or have someone else. So probably at least once or twice a week, there's people at work where I'm like, ooh, okay, can you take a picture of me? And they're like, yeah, Molly, sure. Like, well, wait, I have to hold my Shakeology cup in it, you know? So I posted my picture last week of my NASM, and I'm holding my Shakeology cup in one of the pictures, but I don't mention Beachbody. I don't say a word about it, but it's there.
It's product placement.
Yeah, it's there, but I'm not saying like, oh, Beachbody, yeah, you know, because you don't want to puke Beachbody onto everyone, because no one's going to stop at your posts to be like, oh, yeah, Molly's posting about Beachbody again, yay. Yep. You know, so in a lot of my best posts, so the one where I have my coat on, and the one where this one, my black and white one, in both of those posts, I never mentioned one word about Beachbody. I took a quote that I found on Pinterest or Google and just plugged it in there. But you can see my shirt says Coach right here. Like, you know, I'm like trying to prove a point without proving a point.
Uh-huh.
So that's always a really good option too. But I still do those things, you know, 3-day refresh. This is 21-day fix. This says 21-day fix at the bottom of it in the words. Pinterest is amazing for things like that.
Is Pinterest, Molly, just because I have an account and that's about as far as I've went with Pinterest, is their cropping concerns with Pinterest, or is that like, is it Instagram-ish with posting, or how do pictures, like if I'm used to always transferring to face or putting pictures on Facebook, what do I need to know about Pinterest if I want to start putting pictures on Pinterest?
Well, I actually haven't really started putting any of my pictures on Pinterest,
Oh, you
which I should. I just pull them off. They're really good if you want some quotes. You can type in like 21-day fix quotes or leg day quotes, and they'll normally come up in squares. I guess I can't go like this. And that way they're easier to plug in to layout or to pick stitch when you're saving them. And they're easy to crop.
Okay.
If that makes sense. But I haven't plugged them in. I would say Instagram, if any of you have Instagram, is the hardest one to get your pictures to fit into. So that's why I would use layout anytime that you wanted to do that, unless you're posting one single picture of yourself. If you're posting a collage of many, to use layout.
Oh, I do have layout. I don't think I've ever used it. You must have told me to download.
I probably did.
Molly, do you use any like watermark apps?
To like
do you ever put a put a watermark, whether it be so I don't know, I've seen a lot of people have been reusing photos.
Yeah.
And so I've been looking for like a watermark
app,
but
I don't personally have it.
I actually use one of those. Molly, can I take that one?
Yep, go ahead.
Sammy, I use one.
yeah.
Called Watermark. I don't know if I hold this up. It's this one in the bottom left. Well, it'd be on your bottom right corner. It looks like a stamp. I use Watermark, and that's a good thing to bring up, Sammy, is that I don't put it on all of mine because sometimes it takes away from the picture. But if I have room for it, I have my logo, my V4U logo saved in there. And then basically the last step before I post a picture, so I've got it all done. I've done my lenses. I've done everything to it, is I just go to that Watermark and I hit select photo. I pick the last photo in my roll because it's the one I just made. And I click Watermark and it takes my V4U guy and puts it on there. And you can mess with the opacity, whatever the heck the word is. If it sticks out, if it blends into the background, you can adjust that because people can take your stuff, you know, and it's, you know, I've done it more and more, and it's not a bad, but
here, I'll show
you don't always have to do it, but it's not a bad idea because
Right.
you know how many times I've seen lots of Beachbody people get all of a sudden their picture shows up on some other company's, you know, their before and after pictures show up on some other company's website, like they use their stuff. That used to happen to Beachbody people all the time. Are you pulling my stuff up, Mo?
Yeah, I'm trying to find one of your ones that has a mark
Well,
on
it'd
it.
probably be, oh yeah, there you go. That one with me hanging over the bench, bottom left corner. Did you see it?
Oh yeah, there. This one.
Well, I think your cursor is a little behind you, but yeah, up at the top.
Right here.
Yeah, it's taken.
Right.
Yeah. So that top left corner. See, so you can see through it a little bit, but nobody can steal my picture. You know, not that anyone's going to want to steal me hanging in the tab hanger, but you never know. It's kind of cool.
I do that one I use PixArt.
Oh, they have watermark on that too, Jordy?
It's it's not like a watermark, but I usually use like text. I'll write "Be bold in life" and then use that OPEG.
Okay.
Whatever that was. So any text you could use probably on any of the apps that are mentioned. I came in late, but
yeah, text is really easy to throw a website at the bottom, you know.
Right, a website or at least even just your business name so that it's on there somewhere.
The one thing, if you're going to use text, you guys, to keep in mind is if you put it on the bottom and it's not a major part of your picture, people can just crop it out. So if you notice, coaches will put like text like in the middle of their picture really small. They'll put like their website, like, you know, it's kind of can take away from a picture, but they put it in the middle so there's no way anyone can crop it out. So it's something to keep in mind when you use text.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Anybody got any other questions or anything that we didn't talk about that they use that they think works great?
No?
No, we're good to go. Well, cool. Well, Mal, I think that was great. I hope that was helpful to everybody.
Oh, yes.
I know that you can't, you can't really show like going through the process of doing a picture. I wish there would be a way to film like a video of, because I'd love to see like Molly doing this and that, like that, and whatever. But I feel like it's something that takes a little getting used to. And once you do it, Molly, has it kind of become second nature to you now?
Yeah, I really like it, but I critique myself a lot. Like, that doesn't look good. Like, I don't like that picture. I have to go take 6 more. Like, for real, I probably take like a lot of selfies, and then I filter them like 8 times before I figure out which one I want.
That might be a
One thing I
problem.
learned at Summit is you're really good at taking pictures. So
Thanks, Jordy. That's
Well,
pretty nice today.
So, Molly, it's all about the angle and the filter, right?
Yes, love your filter, seriously. And make your pictures your own. Like, you might see other coaches and you're like, oh, I really like that. But when you're pulling it in, make it like your own, unique for yourself. You don't need to, you can copy them to an extent, but I wouldn't be copying them exactly, because then it's not your own work and you're not going to grab people's attention, and it's not you being.
Well, yeah, like, so if you're not like a wacky person, you don't really want to post a wacky type picture. If you're not like a big, like,
Right. If you're not going to post something like this crazy being naked picture, if you're like very like
yes.
conservative.
conservative, thank you. Yeah, like, oh, no.
I don't know if anyone except you is going to post that picture, Molly. Let's be honest.
Okay, that's true.
I love that picture. I saw that. That was a literal like laugh out loud picture when I saw that one.
So funny. You should have saw us taking it. So obviously I didn't take that picture myself. There was many taken and it was raining. It was the worst. But I still did it, You just got to have fun with your pictures.
Uh-huh. Well, cool. Well, good. Nobody's got any other questions or anything from all?
Good job, Molly.
Good job, Molly. I enjoyed it. I think it taught everybody a lot. Molly, just in case anybody doesn't know, Molly, you have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So, because sometimes I know people that don't have iPhones, some of these apps may not be available on your phone. I think most, it seems like, if they're on one, they're on both. But
I think most of them are. And I tried to pull off. So on all these, I tried to pull off. This is exactly what the apps look like on my phone. So if you're searching for them, these are what they look like.
Molly, is it possible to share your slides to the group? Can you share a PowerPoint? I don't know if you can. I wonder. Like, or if you could screenshot these on your computer and just upload them all onto the coach page, that might be helpful.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Just the ones that are, like the ones that show those, because I know that's what people are going to look for is the icons. So maybe screenshot them.
Yeah.
Upload them. And I did record this, so I will get it onto YouTube and then get it into the group.
Perfect. If you have questions too and don't want to ask them right now, you can always shoot me a message if you're stuck somewhere when you're doing one.
Awesome. Well, thanks for getting on the call, guys. Molly, thank you for showing us how to make cool kick butt pictures. Now I expect everyone to have really cool pictures tomorrow. I think everybody should have. Everyone on this call. I'm going to throw a challenge out right now. Shoot a selfie tomorrow.
Hey, Eric, I put one out tonight.
Yeah, but now you learned more. So
no. Now I'm about to get crazy with it.
Everybody, I'm going to give away something. I'm going to find something that I have. Everybody who's on the call live, not if you're watching this recording, tough crap. Everybody on the call live, post a selfie tomorrow. It needs to be one that you post on your public page, but then put it in the coach group too. And Molly and I will go through them and we'll judge the winner and we'll give something away for fun.
Oh, wow.
But you gotta this is kind of like top Chef or whatever. So you want to use some apps. You gotta take everything in your basket.
Lots of filters.
Lots of filters and be creative. And Molly and I will go through them all. They got to be done tomorrow. And you got to post it on your public wall too, not just the coach group. On your public wall, share it into the coach group, and we'll pick the we'll pick the winners for the best selfie.
Oh boy.
That sounds like fun.
I'm excited. I think that's a great idea. I can tell Linda's super excited.
You can tag us in it if you want to.
Yeah, and tag us in it. And you can even put on there that this is for a selfie contest for my coach team if you want to take some of the pressure off.
Thank you.
There you go. And we're going to judge lighting. We're going to judge shadowing, text, creativity, filter use. We're going to go through all of it. Everything that she went through, we're going to go through on your picture and critique the crap out of it.
Wow.
And we'll pick a winner. That sounds fun. And you got to do it tomorrow or tonight if you're so inclined. Feel free to like have a cocktail and then do it. Maybe they'll get a little.
Right? No pressure or anything.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
hey, thanks for getting on. You guys have a great night and go take some selfies.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Molly, I think you have to hit end meeting because you're the hostess with the mostest.